Won't you say why you're a stranger now? Your eyes escape mine when I sit you down. Don't you feel like we're holding on onto a fairy tale, but the magic's gone? Been months of bluffing the blushes and faking the butterflies. Wake up, yeah, I'm kicking the castle down. Ooh, yeah, I think it's time to talk. Ooh, yeah, I think it's time to talk. I think it's time to talk. Ooh, yeah, I think it's time to talk. Ooh, yeah, be true to what we want. Forget how it felt from the outset. Hopeless to reset. Ooh, yeah, I think it's time to talk. Kinda missing how we kicked it off. Always in overdrive, now the feeling's lost. Blind to notice, we've been losing touch. Long gone fairy tale, yeah, we killed the rush. Been months of acting a fiction and staging a Valentine's. Wake up, yeah, I'm kicking the castle down. Ooh, yeah, I think it's time to talk. Ooh, yeah, I think it's time to talk. I think it's time to talk. Be true to what we want. Forget how it felt from the outset. Hopeless to reset. Ooh, yeah, I think it's time to talk.
Good evening. Welcome to the first Kneejerk stream of the season. Everyone always asks me every season, what does Kneejerk mean? It's a very common FPL phrase when, I don't know, a player blanks that's in your team, or a player does really well that's not in your team, and your knee starts jerking. I've got to bring them in. It should really be like, I guess, yeah, knee jerks, yeah. Anyway, we'll leave it there. That's why it's called that. We're going to do this every single week. Once the game week is finished, it'll pretty much always be on a Sunday, depending on what's going on. And because we haven't got any stupid late games anymore on a Sunday, it'll always be around 7 or 8 o'clock start. So if you do enjoy them, give them a like, hit that subscribe button. We are well over 200k now, which is absolutely ridiculous. There is some massive scores in here. Like massive, massive, massive scores. I'm just going to change the music for myself. Like 3,496 people have voted on the poll that I have in the chat right now. And 51% are saying they got 100 plus. Absolutely crazy. Like, if you're new to FPL, I don't want to put a downer on things. It's not always like this. It's not always this easy, right? Everyone pretty much banged. Like, it's at the point where I'm not complaining, but I got 100 points and I'm still frustrated. Like, that Son and Mahrez move. I spoke about it so much. It was the one thing. Oh, I tweeted about it so much the week before. And then Son scores against Man City. And Mahrez had a pretty poor game, in all honesty. Just didn't really do much at all. I don't think there's too much worry about him playing against Norwich, but I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it this week. And obviously Gundogan as well, who I decided to upgrade from Rafinha, blanked as well. And now he's got a shoulder injury, possibly. We're going to have to wait and see if he starts the next game. But I wasn't going to do anything this week. But now I might make a transfer. I'm not sure, though. I'm not sure. Fozzie, hello. Hello to everyone in the chat. Keep on posting your scores. There's some ridiculous scores. I mean, the thing is, obviously, we've picked teams for the first 4 to 6 game weeks. So I'm looking at my team, which I'll bring up in a minute. And everyone's got pretty much fantastic fixtures. So it could be another huge score. But yeah, Man City. The first 15 minutes for Man City were good. And to be fair, like it's fine margins, right? There's a few things. I don't know what annoyed me more, the Son goal or the Ings penalty. Ings had no shots in the whole game. No shots. He gets a 97th minute penalty. Absolutely so frustrating because he's so highly owned as well. No shots. So that was frustrating. And obviously, Mahrez did have a really good chance in the first half and just... don't know what he was doing, really. But he didn't put it in the net. That's what he did. James, 116 from Galway 2. What is going on? It's so nice to see everyone on the same teams. YouTube and Twitter community ruined the game. Yeah, it says the guy watching the YouTube stream. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it ruined the game. I mean, if anything, it's brought more people, right? It's brought more people playing. I don't know. I don't know if there's a solution to that. How do you break the template, right? And I think like Man City were playing Spurs first game as well, probably didn't help. There's all this stuff around Kane. Like if Kane was at City and Lukaku was at Chelsea from game week 1, there was no Euros. I think teams might have been a little bit different. Like, I would have definitely considered Calvert-Lewin a bit more if he'd played any pre-season minutes. There's a super chat, but I can't see who it's from. But it says bring Sonaldo or still keep Mahrez. Like for now, I'm saying still keep Mahrez. Right? There was a process. There was a plan. The plan was to have Man City players for Norwich. I don't think we need to... we shouldn't really be worrying too much at this point. Plus, if you've got the million in the bank, I would possibly consider Mahrez to Son. If you're an idiot like me and you spent that million on freaking Gundogan instead of just keeping Rafinha, it's a bit different. Here's what I would say. If I'd kept Rafinha and just kept the million in the bank... I think there'd be a good chance of me doing Mahrez to Son this week, but I've got to do it for a hit, so I'm not so interested. 111 week. The Benrahma hype. Oh my god, I can't say anything on Twitter anymore. I literally, after the first half, right, I didn't think that Benrahma had played badly, but I thought that I don't know. It felt like he was a bit lost in that position. Like he'd made some good runs with the ball, like progressed the ball forward quite a lot, but ultimately just kept running into defenders. So I was like, he might change my mind. So after half time, I'm thinking possibly I might consider his position in my team. Maybe. Let's see when he comes off. And then straight away he scores like, I told you what you're saying. I'm like, well, all I said was I might consider taking him out. But yeah, obviously he was brilliant. So yeah, Benrahma was ridiculously good. Is it too early to wildcard? For most people it is. My son's going to wildcard because we forgot about his team and it's in a proper mess. Okay, shout out and shout out to Carl Buttons, aka Jamie Lee. Terrible week as always for him. Silly FPL manager, Mr. Weeds top as usual. Congratulations to Mr. Weeds. Okay, let me get my team up. Oh, where's my team? Here it is. So this is it. This is I mean, it's a great week. It's a great week. I should not be in any way annoyed. I think that's my rank. Like, if you're inside the top 2 million, you're probably fine, right? If you're outside of it, it's just 1 week. Like to be top 500k on the first week is fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. There's a lot of weeks to go. 37 of them. Oh, my rank's actually higher than that. Ah, damn it. Can I still change it? According to Live FPL, my rank is higher. Hang on. FPL's not updated it. FPL have got me at 400. Oh, but FPL haven't included the bonus points, have they? According to Live FPL, I'm 377,000. I mean, I'm absolutely fine with that after the first week. Like, if you could get... I'm just updating the score a sec. If you could get a game week rank of 377,000 every week, you'd probably win FPL. So to get it in the first week is fine. Obviously, it'd be great to be in the top 10k already or something like that, but it's game week 1. I'm not going to worry too much. Yeah, look, it's too early to talk about. Will Mahrez start? My gut feeling is yes, he will start against Norwich, because who's going to come in for him and play there? Torres could go and play there, I suppose. I don't think we should panic too much. They did play Spurs. It's not like they were going to walk all over them, and they always seem to struggle against Spurs. Even when they've got all the possession and they're creating loads of chances, Spurs always score on the counter. It's exactly what happened today. Do you think Torres is a good 1 week punt for game week 2? I don't know if I would bring. I don't know if I would bring City players in now if I hadn't already considered them. Probably. The thing is, again, I don't know if Torres is going to start. De Bruyne was back, so he could just slot in where Gundogan is. So Torres is probably okay. I did think at first that Gundogan might keep his place and De Bruyne might play where Torres is. But if Gundogan's got this shoulder injury, he might miss out. Annoyingly, I thought Gundogan was actually getting into some good positions. It just never really fell for him. Wildcard worth it for Mahrez, Wilson and Buendia. Why did you need to get rid of Wilson? I mean, Buendia, fair enough. Mahrez, Wilson and Buendia to Fernandes, Lukaku and Norgard. Surely that doesn't work out. The sums don't work out there, surely. There's no point in I don't think there's worth a wildcard for Lukaku. Can you not get to Fernandes in 2 transfers? I think the FPL rank is basically updating after every game, but they're not including the bonus points because I guess they're waiting for it to be finalised. That's all. So yeah, I think that this is my team for this week. I mean, what's ridiculous is I got 100 points. I know so many people got to that point. But I got 5 blanks. Sanchez, Shaw, Mahrez, Gundogan and Toney. They all blanked. So only 6 players got me to 100, which is ridiculous. Salah and Fernandes, what a start. Feel a bit gutted going Barnes out for Barnes. Oh, out. You took Benrahma out. Yeah, I mean, what a start for the Twitter template, Benrahma. I'm not sure I would have considered him. It's not that I saw everyone going for him and then just put him in. I saw everyone talking about it. I thought, well, I'll look into it a bit more. And I thought, maybe they're on something. Only 6 million. When Sarr scored, I was a bit worried because I had heavily considered Sarr. But yeah, decent. Son has killed me, though, honestly. It's not even about being on 110. It's just that if I had Son right now and no Mahrez Gundogan, I'd feel okay. I really would. But it is what it is, right? Anid. Amacy. Sorry, I've definitely butchered that. I have Jota, Mahrez, Veltman. I'm really worried Jota's not going to start versus Burnley. Look, with Jota, though, we knew this, right? You knew that this was a problem. Only Alien will play from my bench. Would you keep Jota or sell him? I'd probably keep him. I mean, Ailing off the bench for Veltman's not a big issue. Jota will definitely get some minutes. I mean, you've got to think about what is your long-term plan with Jota. You knew he'd be an issue after Norwich. If you were always planning on getting rid of him, then sell him. Yeah, Greenwood or something like that. But Greenwood's minutes aren't going to be good forever either. But I think with Greenwood, with Cavani still not back training, he might get another couple of games. Why did I think I was being clever picking Willock instead of Benrahma? Look, Rob, I'll tell you this now. At half-time, I looked up Willock's fixtures. Just in case. So I don't think Willock's a bad pick, but obviously he was for game week 1 because he didn't play. But the fixtures are good for Newcastle, and they look like they're going to try and attack again. Got a couple of goals today. I don't think Willock's a bad pick, but obviously, yeah, it doesn't look smart going over Benrahma now. Got 96, went Bowen over Benrahma, has an extra 0.5, better record last year. Yeah, Bowen's not a bad pick. It'd be interesting to see who takes the next penalty. Apparently, Benrahma's got a 6 out of 6 record. I was not confident the way Antonio ran up. It was a bad penalty, which is a shame because Antonio on penalties is basically a cheat code. He's already amazing without them. Itchy feet on Sanchez, not at all. I couldn't care less about my goalkeeper. That would just be a wildcard decision. He could keep no clean sheets in the next 5, and I probably still wouldn't consider dropping him. Will Veltman play next game week? Don't know. Will Grealish play next? Don't know. Veltman, I don't know, because it's all going to be around isolation rules, so I'm going to have to wait and see what Potter says. With Grealish, I think he probably will play, to be honest. If I had Grealish, I'd be fairly confident about a start. Already thinking of downgrading Trent to... Oh, downgrading Trent to Dyer, Cody, Ailing, and upgrading Barnes to Son from -4, thereby keeping Mahrez as well. I'm not sure Trent should... I just think Mahrez longer term is not going to be a great option, whereas Trent will. I don't know if dropping Trent is the way to get Son, personally, but that's just me. That is just me. Anyway, team for next week. This is what it's looking like. Veltman a bit annoying. I said like it wasn't actually a big issue in the end, but I did say, did I? Just stuff in game week 1 just happens. Veltman out of the blue, not playing. We never heard about it before. Yeah, frustrating. But I wasn't going to play him against Watford anyway because I'm going to play Simicast. A little bit worried about Simicast, but not enough to change anything because, like I said, I got at least Ailing on the bench. But Simicast wasn't great, I didn't think. But I think he'll play again. Should I go Veltman to Dunk 0.5 in the bank? Only if you're having to play Veltman and you've got no bench. But Veltman hasn't missed out because he's like massively injured, or he hasn't missed out because he's been dropped. He's missed out because I think he was a close contact. So there's every chance that he gets back into the team, I think. I did see Burnley's goal. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They just pushed him over. I don't get how that stood. I saw it this morning. I watched all the highlights of all the games that I had missed yesterday. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Made a big mistake with Mane over Bruno. Should I make my switch now and take the L or hold? Oh, I don't know what to say about Fernandes, right? Because I own him, and I think he's a great option. I thought that before the hat-trick. Obviously, he wouldn't be in my team. Southampton look poor. And then it's Wolves, and then it's Newcastle, West Ham, Villa, Everton. Like, Man United's first 7 are great. And then you could consider getting rid, maybe for Chelsea players. Would I make the switch from Mane to Bruno? I got to be honest, I would be tempted. I really would be tempted to make the switch. The thing is, he's... Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, I probably would be tempted. I'm not saying do it, but I would strongly think about it. Like, he's not going to score another hat-trick straight away. It'd be very unlikely to happen, but he could get a goal and assist. He could get a few bonus. We could be looking at another 12, 13-pointer. Like, the guy is just great, and I think him and Pogba work really well. It doesn't mean that Pogba's always going to play like that and have that much of an effect on the game, but yeah, I don't. Fernandes is just. I'd be tempted. I would. If I could do it for free, I really would. The thing is, right, and this is so. It's like I always say, not everything's black and white. It's not just about not following the template or not following effective ownership or whatever. Like, realistically. Of course, if you sell Mane for Fernandes and Mane smashes it next week, that's going to be frustrating. But the ownership that Fernandes is at, you just can't watch Man United games if you don't own him, which is crazy. I don't think you have to make the move. I think you could wait for the Burnley game. But after that, it's Chelsea for Mane. Whereas Fernandes is possibly going to be heavily captained against Wolves. Like, question is, do you want to captain Fernandes soon? And are you going to captain Mane? If you're going to captain Fernandes in 3 or 4, then I think I probably would consider making the switch. Got so far, Toney, Jota, Veltman as potential issues. Why are they issues? Like, we got to calm down. Like, why is so far an issue? Next fixture's okay, isn't it? Leicester, I mean, maybe not the greatest one, but after that, it's 2 good fixtures, right? Palace, Southampton. I don't think so far is an issue, really. I know they conceded twice, but I don't think he's an issue. Toney is not an issue. Like, I know he didn't. I don't think he had any shots. But it's Crystal Palace next, right? He was used to bully the Arsenal defenders and basically get. Is it Mbumo? I think I've been pronouncing it wrong, but to get him in behind, he's not an issue. Jota possibly, but he might start against Burnley. Who knows? And yeah, Veltman's an issue, but are you playing him? Do you have to play Veltman every week? Any Game Week 2 transitions or just hold? I think you probably hold. You don't want to be making too many rash decisions this week, right? As I say, I'm thinking about taking a hit for Son. Yeah, you don't, like, because things could be completely different next week, right? They just could. They just could. It's hard at the start of the season. It really is hard to kind of hold your nerve. But for most of these players, you got to. Would you transfer Barnes for Benrahma with 1 million in the bank? Probably not. I mean, we've got West Ham then Leicester. West Ham then Norwich. The only thing with Benrahma is, like, what are you going to do with that money? Not necessarily straight away, but what's the plan with the money the next couple of weeks? Because Benrahma will almost certainly go up in price this week. He's only 16% up. I would be surprised if he doesn't go up this week. If I had 2 free transfers, I probably would just get Son, to be honest. I don't know. If Gundogan and Mahrez start against Norwich, I'm probably okay. I'm just worried about the prices. Like, Rafinha's being sold already. Gundogan's obviously being sold. Son's being brought, but not massively. Not, like, super heavy. What about Jota to Pogba? I really... Like, Pogba is such a knee-jerk. He's gonna be the first player to go up in price. Look, he played brilliantly, but 4 assists in 1 game. I know we kind of said that about Son and Kane last year, and they went on and smashed it, but I really think bringing Pogba in is a mistake for most people. I think whatever 7.5 million player you've got, unless Gundogan is definitely injured for the next game, I think you can just avoid Pogba. James, thank you. I have Bruno, Son, Salah, Ings, and scored 100. Want to have a City player? What to do? Don't have a City player would be my plan with that team. If you want a City player, you got to sell someone you don't really want to. You got to sell Bruno, Son, or Salah. Don't do it. Just don't have a City player. Honestly, you're laughing. Do I sell Son for Lukaku, Benrahma? No. No, you don't. Why would you sell Son? I don't get that at all. Like, you've just... Look, this stream is very much like an instant reaction. And like any FPL manager, I will possibly change my mind on some of these questions like during the week. And obviously, you don't have to take what I say. You can make your own decisions. But Son's just scored in one of the hardest games he'll have all season. And then he's got Wolves, Watford and Palace. I think Kane's gone. Son's going to be on penalty. He's going to be like central striker. It's all these things I was telling myself I just think Son is great whether Kane stays or goes. I really do. So I don't know why you'd be selling Son. Like, I really don't know. There's crazy talk. Crazy talk. I'm trying to think about which players that were kind of heavily owned that I would sell. Like, genuinely consider selling. Like, these are the fixtures we just had. Like, even Arsenal defence, I wouldn't really be too worried. Like, you wouldn't want to play them in game week 2 or 3 anyway. Defence was okay. I know Ben White got a little bit bullied. I wouldn't be selling my Leeds players. Tough fixture. They got 2 good ones coming up. Brighton defence I wouldn't be panicking too much about. I mean, I'm hoping no one had Crystal Palace players anyway. Same with Southampton. Like, I don't really know if there's many players worth selling. Target, maybe, if we think he's not going to start. But I don't think he suddenly gets dropped from the team just because of one mauling by Sarr. I'm not against like going for an aggressive play. Like, for example, Jota, like we were talking about earlier. If you just had him for the Norwich game and you always planned to sell because you wanted to play a bit more aggressive, and Jota got his points as well, happy days, then go for it. But for most players, if you didn't already plan to sell these players, I would strongly consider just not doing it. Honestly. Harvey Barnes, keep us out. I'd probably keep. What to do with Barnes with 0.5 in the bank? Keep Greenwood. Yeah, Greenwood maybe. The thing with Greenwood is I think he's got 2 more games up front, and then I think Cavani and Co are back, and then I don't know what happens. That's my only worry about him. But the next 2 fixtures are really good. So I don't hate Barnes to Greenwood, but in the same next 2 fixtures, Barnes gets to play Norwich. So I don't think I would sell him. Buendia to Benrahma or Havertz to another 8.5. I mean, again, what was the plan with Havertz? So why do you want to sell him? He didn't start, but he just played 120 minutes. Chances are he probably starts the next game. We don't know how they're going to set up with Lukaku in the team. So I guess Buendia to Benrahma if you have to do something. But again, you don't have to make a move. Thoughts on bringing in Tanganga or Chalobah? Yeah, you could. You could, but again... Like, okay, what's my thoughts on bringing him in as defenders? I mean, Chalobah, is he going to keep playing, first of all? Like, if we think about the Chelsea team, Reece James will play the next game, I'm sure, at right wing back. So Azpilicueta will play. I just don't know if Chalobah keeps playing. And Tanganga was good, but is he going to always play the right back spot? I would doubt it. I think he played today because it was what did they say on commentary? Like it was a defensive spot. Whereas in future games, maybe the next couple of the next three, where they've got a bit more attacking impetus when they've got the ball a bit more, maybe Doherty plays or someone like that. So I don't know. Tanganga and Chalobah are not players that I'd be looking at right now, I think. Trent down to Sofao and Son to Bruno. I'm torn. Again, I don't think I would be wanting to do Son to Bruno, to be honest. I mean, if I had to pick one, only one, I would go Bruno. Yes, but I would want to keep Son. I think the thing with Son is if you can't go Kane captain for Spurs in Game Week 3, Son is arguably the best captain in Game Week 3. So are you going to captain Bruno this week? You could put it off for a couple more weeks. Piyush, great content. Thank you very much. Glad you're enjoying it. 8,000 of you watching. Please do keep hitting that like button. Make sure you subscribe as well. We're already like way past 200k. We're going for 250 now. I won't go on about it too much. Okay, let me see what questions we got here. Let me see. Oh, hang on. The only problem with this stream for Game Week 2 after Game Week 1 is basically, yeah, don't sell that player. Yeah, don't sell that player. Yeah, don't sell that player. White to Ailing. No. Well, surely you must have, like, with White, there must have been a plan for Game Week 2 or 3, right? I know they lost to Brentford, but I don't think the match was... Like Brentford were good, don't be wrong, and what's his name got in quite a few times. I'm just trying to find. Oh, hang on. Arsenal versus Brentford 2 days ago. Yeah, Arsenal defense wasn't great, but it wasn't awful either. I don't think. If Gundogan's injured, I might go back with my tail between my legs and get Rafinha in. Because if I go for Greenwood, who would probably be the next one on the list, I think it would be Greenwood anyway. If I go for Greenwood, then what's my plan in Game Week 3? Then I'm basically tying myself to Mahrez for a bit longer. There's a few things. So this is what's on my mind for my team, right? I don't want to really make too many moves this week after 1 week, right? But there's two things on my mind. One, how do I get Son back in? And I already know how I do that. I get Rafinha and I do Mahrez to Son. But the question is, do I want to do that? I think I do. I think I want to captain him in Game Week 3. So that's one. And also, do I want to, and how quickly do I move to a 3-4-3? Because I think, like Calvert-Lewin, Ings, Wilson, there's a lot of options up there, and I've only got 2 right now. Now, again, if Mahrez scores that goal, I'm not really probably that bothered. But it's something to think about. Which one do I want more? Do I want Son or do I want to move to 3-4-3? I think the one thing is there's a lot of value in those forward spots, and I've only got 2. But then Son captain Game Week 3 could be the play, and then maybe I move to a 3-4-3 later on. But I think I would just do Gundogan to Rafinha. It sucks because I could have just started that way. I said that on stream. I could have just, on the deadline stream, I could have just done Son to Mahrez and kept the million and just kept Rafinha, and then I'd only be 1 move away from Son. And obviously now, in hindsight, that looks like it should have been the play, but I didn't know Gundogan was going to get injured, right? So, yeah, it sucks. Harrison to Benrahma. I wouldn't transfer Harrison out. Again, played Man United, so I wouldn't have expected much. Next 2 fixtures are good. Ings and Gundogan. I mean, everyone's saying how bad Southampton were, and they still scored past Everton. So I wouldn't trust... I wouldn't trust Everton defence just yet, personally. Ings and Gundogan to Son and Obafemi. Switch to 3-5-2 with Antonio. Yeah, again, I don't hate it, but if Gundogan's not injured, Ings has got such a good fixture. I don't think I would take a hit this week. I'd maybe do it the week after. You'd have only had 99 points. Why would I have only had 99? Rafinha got a yellow card, didn't he? Yeah, true. But I'd also save a transfer, and that's worth 4 points. So, you know. The only thing is, what if I go back to Rafinha and he's not available for game week 4? Oh, my God. I've got a bench at least, so it's not too bad. A bit of a bench. Parika's gone. Short to Pinnock and Fernandes to Canos. Ben, I know that's sarcastic, and if it's not, I'm not going to answer it. It's not. I like it. Okay, Adam Armstrong in. The thing is, right, I know there was a lot of love for Adam Armstrong when he came in. And a lot of people obviously saying when the fixtures get better, they'll look at him. Like, game week 8 looks good for Armstrong. He did look decent, but I also think his goal was obviously what was Keane doing, right? It was a massive mistake. And to be fair, he did kind of not torment them, but obviously did cause them problems. So maybe that played into it. I like him, but oh no, I'm just seeing. Hang on. Gundogan potential fractured collarbone. Oh my God. Left shoulder injury for Man City's Ilkay Gundogan by mechanism concerned for the AC joint injury or clavicle collarbone fracture. Less common involves scapula, shoulder blade. Yeah, I think Rafinha will come in. And if Son looks like he's going to rise in price, I might take the hit. I might do. It was a good finish, though, by Armstrong. Really nice finish. And Buemo to Trossard, no chance. Keep him, Buemo. It's frustrating to be moved into an injury straight away, but I mean, like, if Veltman, if I wasn't worried about the price drop, which I am worried about, I could, and Veltman wasn't injured, I could just play Veltman and keep Gundogan and do it for free the week after, but I probably won't. I'll probably just get Rafinha. Part of me thinks, is there a better... part of me wonders if there's like a more interesting move I could do than Rafinha, but I don't think there is because I already own Benrahma. Buendia on my bench at the moment, but got 2 good fixtures. Yeah, but I find it tough with Villa because they didn't play great, and I think the problem they have is they got a lot of good players they've just bought, but how the hell do they fit them into that team? Like, I think Bailey and Buendia have mostly played on the right. I could be wrong about that with Bailey, but I think they've mostly played on the right. And now they've got 2 strikers to fit in, so they've kind of replaced Grealish with like the owner said, they've replaced him with 3 players that can all do what he can do. But obviously that's 3 different players. Grealish could all do it on his own. So if I had Buendia, I'd keep him for at least one more. Right, give him at least one more chance. But I do have a few concerns about Villa. Yeah. I'll try and remember to colour in. I'll try and remember to colour in my kit this week. I'll put it on my list of things to do. I've got a lot of content coming out this week. Usual stuff. I might watch list, transfer tips, team selection, preview, deadline stream, captaincy. Might throw a few other things in there. I haven't quite decided yet. See how busy I am. There's a lot to think about. Have I planned out when I use my triple captain in a double game week? I'm not worried about that for a long time, to be honest. Sarr or Benrahma. Even though Benrahma played well, there's this talk now that Lingard is more open to a move back to Man United. There's no way they're buying Lingard to bench him to let Benrahma keep playing. So even though I'm really happy with the haul, and I won't remove him this week, I do think longer term he still could become an issue. With Sarr, 100% playing, he's going to play pretty much 90 minutes most weeks. But I don't like the next 2 fixtures, really. I mean, Brighton and Spurs is not that easy for Watford. The fixtures afterwards are good. But the one thing I would consider is, if you get Benrahma and then he loses his place, it's another transfer you've got to make after that. Whereas if you go for Sarr, unless he moves clubs, which I don't know if that's going to happen, you can just kind of set and forget him for a little while. So I think the better option for the next couple of weeks is probably Benrahma. Like, for the next 3 weeks, Benrahma's got Leicester, Palace, Southampton. That's pretty nice. But also, thing to remember with Benrahma, is after game week 4, I think before game week 5, they start playing Europa League. So that's also a concern as well. Townsend, I don't think so. But let's see. Right now, I'm not convinced by Townsend, but you never know. They could just be pumping balls into Calvert-Lewin, right? Calvert-Lewin's someone I would like. I think the fixtures are so good. I just didn't even think he was going to play the first game. Thought he might be on the bench. Smith Rowe and Dele, great value. Both played 90. Yeah, I got to be honest. I still need a lot of convincing with Smith Rowe that he's a genuine FPL option. I think he's a good player, but sometimes players are good at football. They're not good FPL players. Dele Alli, possibly. It looks like he's going to be used as a box-to-box. And we know in the past he's been great at arriving in the box late, almost being like a second striker. I think Spurs is really interesting, right? There's all this talk around Kane, but it's almost like they've just forgotten about him. Let's move on as a group. Like Lucas Moura running with the ball, Bergwijn running with the ball, progressed it quite a lot. You got Son up there. Son can do a bit of everything, right? He's not just a counter-attacking player. He can score with either foot. He scores from long range. He's an exceptional finisher. Like, I think Spurs might do all right, even without Kane, to be honest with you. The only thing is, again, why it's important not to make too many rash decisions is playing Man City is almost like a benefit to that kind of front three because they all want to run with the ball. They all want to counter. When they've got to create something out of nothing, can they still do it? That would be my question about that team. But I don't doubt Son for a second. What do I do with Pepe? I guess you go to Greenwood or Rafinha, someone like that. I mean, he's got 2 bad fixtures, but obviously you knew that. So what was the plan? What was the plan before you had him, right? Too early to look at trading Ings out. Yes. I don't know why you'd want to be honest. 2 really good fixtures coming up. Werner to Lukaku got 2.5 million. Will he start? Apparently, Tuchel has said he will start against Arsenal. So Werner to Lukaku, if you got 2.5 million and that was your plan, go for it. Mahrez and Barnes out. Son and Mahrez in -4. Again, I probably wouldn't do it. I don't think it's worth a -4. And again, I'm not saying I won't do one this week, but right now my thinking is not to do one. Quite liked your Fernandes video. Only quite liked it. Did you only quite like it? Do you think video reacting to unexpected things is going to be a more regular thing, or was that a one-off? Let's just see. Like, to be honest, I do so much stuff during the week. I need to switch off a little bit more from FPL on the weekend. I find it very difficult to do that, but I really need to try and do that this season. But I saw Bruno Fernandes score a hat-trick. I knew everyone that didn't own him would be like going mad. I was in anyway, and it didn't take that long to do it because it's just a quick reaction. It's not like supposed to have loads of graphics and stats in. It's just me talking, and people seem to really like it. So yeah, who knows? We might do some more, but it's a bit like the watch-alongs. I'm not going to commit to one every single week because there might not be anything interesting to react to on a Saturday, right? And I always do this stream on a Sunday anyway. So Johan, save 1 million. I want to do Buendia and Rafinha to Benrahma and Grealish. Wise move. Grealish, maybe. I wouldn't take a hit. I get it though. No, I wouldn't do that hit. No. The triumphant return of Shane Duffy. Yeah. So someone at reconnection successful. Are we back? I think we are. We just dropped 1,000 viewers or something. That was really weird. It just went. It just said OBS is disconnecting. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, I think I said this on... I think I said it on the deadline stream. Someone messaged me, right, like kind of in the know for Brighton, and they said to me, Shane Duffy is starting because Dan Burn's out. And they said that to me about a week before the first game. And then in the final pre-season friendly, Duffy didn't start. And I thought, I don't know whether to trust this info. And then bam, Duffy started. So that's something we haven't talked about. 4 million defenders. Duffy started, Livramento started, Hoover started, Amarty started, and Simicast started. I don't know I think Livramento is probably the one that's most likely to keep the place, but potential there. Potential. Maybe we should have all started with loads of 4 million defenders. I have Sanchez. I have Sanchez, Trent, Sofal, Luka D. Yeah, that's a great team. You don't need to transfer anyone. Who would you transfer? Like realistically, none of them. None of them. When do price rises kick in? Good question. I don't know. I'm guessing Pogba's going to go up tonight, so let's say tonight. Start Ayling or Sofal? That's a good question. I mean, West Ham defence is better, but Leeds against Everton is probably a slightly easier fixture than playing Leicester. Oh, I don't know. I think I'd probably start Sofal, but it's tight. On the 6 million defender to pick Saar, you can also have Harrison, Soucek, Westwood and Traore, who've all got good fixtures after the international break. Yeah, there's loads of options in the 6 million. I still feel like Harrison long term will probably be the standout. I just think he's not that exciting because most people have got Rafinha. But I think Harrison's brilliant. I really do. I think if Rafinha wasn't there, I think a lot of people would have Harrison. I've said that all pre-season. But you're absolutely right, Mr. Glenn Johnson. Has, thank you very much. Victor, first on our Patreon league. Boom. J-Lings FC with 116. Thank you. Looking forward. Ings Greenwood out for Son plus a cheek forward in Game Week 3. Nice. Victor, congratulations. Yeah, there is a Patreon mini league. I should just say, actually, we haven't planned this, but let's do it anyway. Big shout out to everyone that signed up on Patreon recently. Loads of new people since the deadline stream. I know I haven't messaged everyone yet, but I got to be honest, I wanted to take the weekend off. Pre-season was mad. The last week before the game started was crazy, so I decided to take the weekend off, and I was tweeting and stuff, but I wasn't looking at any Patreon stuff, so I will send all the links. Don't worry if you've signed up, you still get the mini league code because you got in before the deadline, right? So lots of people signed up. Jack E, A Friendly Guy, Oliver H, Ian M, Britton W, Andre V, George C, Damien M, Matthew H, Paul J, Anthony C, Dan, Carmine S, Ian. There's more people that signed up. Jan, Jonathan C, Jonathan K, Sashian R, Ryan S, Flemington R, Jason P, Martin, Rich D, and Dan K. Thank you very much for signing up. If you want to check out Patreon and support me a little bit more, there's a link in the description. You don't have to, but the option's there if you want to go for it. Yeah. So the first mini league, basically there's a prize every month for the mini league. The first month is done, so if you sign up now, you'd only be able to get into the next mini league, but yeah, it's there if you want to sign up. There'll be a Q&A this week and Slack access, all that good stuff. Punting on Madison. Plans to move to a 6 million or less midfield at Game Week 2, but injury doubt. Who's an injury doubt? Best 6 million or below, set and forget for at least next 4. Ben maybe? Harrison? Next 4. I mean, Man United is including that. Who's Harrison's fixtures? He's got Liverpool, obviously. Everton, Burnley, Liverpool, Newcastle. I'm going to say Harrison. Thank God I did not listen to you. It worked for once. My pleasure. Is it wise to make a transfer before price goes or wait to see if there are any injuries? So this is like a balancing act, right? Ideally, you want to wait for as long as possible, but at the start of the season, prices change quite mad. So I'm not against going early, especially when there's no Europe and stuff, right? So the worst thing that happens is a player gets injured in training. But I think if you've got players on the bench, I'd be willing to take a risk. But yes, ideally, if the player's not definitely rising or they're not close, I would just wait. You want to leave transfers as long as possible. At the start of the season, it is difficult. We're taking a minus 12 points for Lukaku or Son. No chance. No chance whatsoever. Is Trent really worth it? Yes. Yes. I think it's as simple as that. I mean, Trent's just got 6 points. Trent's on 6 points per match. What more do we want? Am I going to keep Antonio? Am I going to keep the guy that's just got 13 points in 1 week, who's got Leicester, Crystal Palace, Southampton, who is one of my favourite FPL players ever, I would say. Am I going to keep him? Yes. I absolutely am going to keep him. Again, though, I think him and Benrahma, when Europa League starts, I mean, I'd be worried for... Like, this is what happens with Antonio. He was running back. There was a transition. They lost the ball. Newcastle were breaking. And Antonio was sprinting to help out in defence. And I'm just looking like, do not mess your hamstrings up. Right? I don't even like him sprinting when he's going forward. Right? Let alone when he's got to track back on defence. I'm not up for that, Antonio. So stop doing it. Madness. Sprinting back to help on defence. Antonio, just get your goals. Imagine if Ben Rama was on penalties, though, by the way. Imagine. Do I recommend to use the free hit? In most cases, hell no. Hell no. Don't think you need to do that. I'm listening to, right now, I'm listening to Lionel Richie. All night long, we talk about FPL. That doesn't even go with the song. Anyway, yeah, in that defence, they scored on the counter, so worth it. Did they? Antonio sprint to get his goal. I was saying, Ben Rama, pass, and he did. I was getting a bit excited in that game. I love Antonio. He's so good. He's so obviously he's massively rated in the FPL community, but I feel like football in general, he's such an underrated striker. He's so good. Obviously, injury record is a big problem, right? And it's not like anyone's going to buy him now because I think he's past 30, isn't he? I think he's like 32 or something. Have I done him? Yeah, sorry, he's 31. So no one's going to be buying him now, I don't think, but he's so good. His movement's great. He can kind of do a bit of everything. Hold the ball up. He can run in behind. His movement's good. His finishing's good. I like him. Is Toney for Armstrong? Good move. Keep the faith in Toney. At least give him Crystal Palace. Come on. Yeah, I'm a bit gutted that Foster didn't start, but we got Backman started. He did say that on the video. He did kind of imply that Backman would start. What's my favourite ever moment in a football match from an FPL point of view? I got to be honest, right? I really have a bad memory for this stuff. It's almost like I just forget it all, what's happened in past seasons. The one that instantly springs out is Antonio's 4 goals against Norwich. Because he was really low owned at that point. He wasn't as popular as he is now. And I only brought him in because his expected goals were so good, right? I didn't captain him, but that was good. Also from last season, the week that I took out Fernandes and everyone went mad at me, and then Fernandes got a penalty and scored, and everyone went nuts at me again, and then De Bruyne got 2 goals, is the one that I brought in. That was nice. That was a good moment. Best options for replacing Gundogan. Right now, and this might change. I'm saying Gundogan in the 7. I'm saying Greenwood in the 7.5. But I just don't know how many more games he's going to get, like good minutes. But he's got such good, like fitness levels right now, and he played so well up front. I just don't know where Cavani is. When's he going to be back? I'd probably say Greenwood. If we're going cheaper, I think Rafinha if you don't own him. Kotspanek, thank you very much. Toney out after Game Week 5. Let's see in Game Week 5. The thing for me, like Toney, it will take a while till Toney's like a priority for me to get rid of. He's on penalties. He's nailed to play like pretty much 90 minutes every game. So he's going to have to, something bad would have to happen for me to get rid of him. I've got bigger fish to fry than worrying about Toney. What was I thinking when Antonio missed the penalty? I kind of had a feeling he would with the way he ran up. But I was like, oh, come on. And then I was like, Socek, put it in. So he got 1 extra point for that. Did we learn anything from Wolves this week? 8 Nuri, no minutes. Gibbs White from the bench. Still a good fixture swap for West Ham. I don't think we learned too much. I think Traore's just a bit wasteful for me. I just don't think Traore's that good. I think he flatters to deceive. But it was a tough game, right? And they haven't got a much easier game. They got a really tough run, right? It's Leicester, Spurs, and Man United. So I don't think we're going to learn a lot. I think the only thing we can really take away is probably who's getting minutes, and then maybe risk or go for a punt or two, like from Game Week 4 or 5 onwards. Don't think we learned a huge amount. Hoover starting was good though. See if that continues. Should I keep away from Arsenal players? For the next 2 game weeks, I would. Cavalier and Richarlison for free, or Pogba Greenwood for -4. Cavalier for free sounds good. Gundogan to Ben Rama and Mahrez to Son. I probably wouldn't take a hit. For price changes, I use FPL statistics. Like Fantasy Football Scout's got loads of stuff on there, but for price changes, I use FPL statistics for now. I'd hedge my bets on Harrison against Liverpool. Yeah, I think Harrison's good. Thanks for. Semedo was pinged, was he? Okay. Yeah, I didn't suspect that he would keep starting, but that's a shame. Dharma is a poor man's Antonio. Kanishka got Sanchez, Foster, Trent, Shaw. Should I make any changes or hold my transfer? Who to captain? We'll talk about captaincy. But I mean, Salah or Fernandes, one of those two. Yeah, as your team looks, it doesn't look like it needs a transfer to me. Most people's teams do not need a transfer. They shouldn't do anyway. Michael, thank you. Augustine, Salah out for... No. All I need to see is Salah out. I'm not reading the rest. No. El Ghazi in my team currently has good fixtures. Should I hold on to him? You could maybe hold on to him for one more, but El Ghazi's going to be a problem soon when they try and fit Bailey and Buendia and stuff in. Like, he came off in the last game. You could make the switch if you wanted to, but I think it's a good fixture next. Just hope that he plays. Are you going to try and get Sam Billings for a video? International white ball cricketer top guy, plays FPL and seems to be a fan. Yeah, maybe. If he wants to come on, we can maybe do that. And yeah, he does follow me. He tweeted me the other day. I think I follow him as well. I followed him for a little while. I think he was playing it quite a lot the last year, maybe the season before too. He's probably played for a while, but I mean, I noticed him on Twitter last year or the season before. If Kane goes City, get for Norwich. I feel like I would have to know that Kane was starting to even be worried about him. Trossard, yeah, I'll probably keep him with the fixtures. So captain Toney, my last French captain was Calvert against West Brom Game Week 2 and he got a hat-trick. I mean, I wouldn't captain Toney, no, but if you want to do it, go for it. Explain price rise and how FPL statistics works. Well, I mean, no one knows the official price rise thing. They get enough transfers in, the price goes up, and FPL statistics tracks it. What I will say is, it's very difficult for them to get it exactly right near the start of the season. But basically, on FPL statistics, if a player gets to like 90% plus, it means they're very close to a price rise. You can only have a maximum of 0.3 million price rises in a week, in a game week, that is, not in a week, in a game, like between game weeks. So between now and game week 2, a player can rise or fall a max of 0.3 million. And it's the same for going down. So if they're minus 90% or higher, like as in minus 95, 100, whatever, they're very close to going down in price. Alex, thank you. Michael, Benrahma for Rafinha and is 100. I wouldn't take Benrahma. Is 101 points okay? Yes. Trust me, you won't get many more weeks where you score 100 points. Again, not trying to be a downer on it, but 100 points don't come around that often. Like, I'd be very surprised if we get another 100 a week next week. I really would. Things will even out a bit. Like, it's very rare that like so many players come in all at once, you know? Because it didn't really matter who you had. Like, I didn't have Ings, I didn't have Callum Wilson, I didn't have Greenwood, I didn't have Jota, and I still hit 100. Like, 5 of my players blanked. It's absolutely mad week. So yes, 101 points is definitely okay. Okay. Okay, what else have we got here? If anybody is panicking, you only need 60 points every week to win FPL. I think you need a bit more than that. Like, 'cause even if it was 2,500, that's 65 points, and you probably need that or more to win. Especially when we're getting 100 points every week. Is 97 good? Yeah, 97 is good. If you're in the top 2.5 million, you've probably had a pretty good game week, as per the tweet that I got off Ben Crellin earlier. You feel like you had a bad week with 83. It's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. It just feels bad. Like, this is like the I find it on Twitter as well, like, especially this week. Like, it's so boring right now on Twitter because everybody's just got 100 points. I've tweeted about it as well, so I am no better. Right? I am contributing to this, but it's like, okay, we all got 100 or near 100 because we all had the same players and everybody freaking scored. So I don't feel disheartened if you only got 80 or something. Like, everyone only posts their scores when they've had a good week. Like, obviously, I'll come on these streams every week, whether I get 20 or whether I get 100. But most people on Twitter and stuff will only post when they have a good score. So don't be panicking with 80 odd or 70 odd or 60 odd. There's a long way to go. This is the way I always think about it, especially so early on. If you can score If someone can score 100 and you only scored 60, that could be the opposite in the next game week, all right? Or over the next 2 weeks, it could be the opposite. You could catch up. Things will change. Because like right now, everyone's thinking, well, you're an idiot. You went for Mahrez and Gundogan. You could have had Greenwood. You could have had Jota. But big if, especially with Gundogan, they play against Norwich, who knows what score they could get? They could blank again, but they could have a good one, right? It's like every attacker return this week. Absolutely. Have I not got... Oh, yeah. Alonso is back. The commentator mentioned a stat where he is the highest goal scorer and defender in the past 5 years. It doesn't surprise me. If Alonso was fit and nailed and played every week, he'd be essential. Almost. Rafinha to Benrahma. Nah. Don't think so. Barnes out for Sarr. Sarr should look good. Nah. Gives me the cash to upgrade Ings to Lukaku in one move. I guess if you want Lukaku, sure. Sure. Berg went for 6 instead of Gundogan. He's a midfielder and plays up top. Next 3 games are good. Yeah, not a bad shout. I guess the only issue is if Kane stays, then Kane comes in the number 9 and Son goes to the left, doesn't he? I probably would agree with anyone that says, well, Kane is going. It does look that way, but it's not guaranteed. I think Lucas Moura and Bergwijn, I'm not completely against them for their price, but I'm not sure I'm sold on buying them just yet. But the fixtures are good, so if you want to take a punt, then you could go for it. Cox Panek, would you make any transfers to run it back for one more game week? Not open fire in the bank. Sanchez, Simicast, sure. Would you make any transfer to run it back? Oh, Simicast, yeah. I would definitely keep that team. Definitely keep that team. Dimitri, thank you very much. Take Ings out, doesn't have much confidence, even though he scored a pet. Nah, Ings have got such good fixtures. Come on. You can't be in such a position where you're taking transfers out for Ings when he's got, like, what is it, Newcastle and Brentford? You've got to keep him. Antonio Wilson. I'm going to say Wilson still, but I think Callum Wilson's great. I'm going to say Antonio, but Callum Wilson's great too. Barnes, Bailey, or Buendia next 3 in long term. Probably Barnes. We're not sure about... Yeah, Barnes, yeah. Prathyush, thank you very much. What to do with Mahrez? Keep him, probably. I don't have Bruno and can't get to him. One transfer worth a hit. If so, who do I bring in for Mahrez? I guess Bruno, if you want Bruno. Depends how much money you're trying to save. Benrahma, Rafinha, all good. Yeah... You can't get to Bruno Fernandes with a hit. Oh, I would be so tempted to do it. I know I said I wouldn't, but I would be tempted. Depends who for, though. The thing is, like, if Mahrez starts against Norwich, that could be proper decent. Oh, I wish I started with Son. Oh, I'd have no headaches right now. I'd have Rafinha and Son. I'd have 0 headaches. If you can only choose one, Antonio. If you ask me a question with Antonio, and the answer will always be Antonio. If it's Antonio or Salah, we're saying Antonio. The guy is so good. He's so good. So good. Should you sell Bergwijn? No. No, you should not. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. We've done an hour. I'll be back anyway all this week with videos right up until the next deadline, which I think is on Saturday this week, isn't it? Yeah, Liverpool's the first game. So imagine if Salah captain blanks. There you go. That's something for you to think about all week. Mane to Bruno. I would probably consider doing that, yeah. I really probably would. I would, yeah, I think I would. Especially with the Chelsea game coming up soon. That's just me, though. You don't have to do it, but I would definitely consider doing that. Yeah, thank you for watching. Please do give it a like on your way out if you haven't already. We can probably easily get to 2,000 likes. Keep subscribing as well. We're way past 200k. Let's hit that 250k. I'll be back every single game week to do one of these streams, and we'll be back all through the week this week with watch lists, all that normal stuff. There's videos every day basically, so keep an eye out for that. For those of you that are going to watch Love Island, enjoy that. And I will catch you again soon.